is going on, everyone? Welcome back to ToyShopFab. I want to thank all of you newer yous out there, all the new subscribers. It's definitely awesome. I appreciate it. All your guys' support. It's awesome. Definitely motivates me to go. And for all the new yous out there, maybe just come back or subscribe the last couple weeks or whatever, or you're just stumbling upon this channel right now, hit that subscribe button for me. Okay, got some cool stuff coming up, but this is my 93 GMC 1500 that it's completely self-built. That is a junkyard 5.3 that we tore down, did all the work ourselves, re-ringed it, re-bearinged it. It's got DIY, the decap truck injectors, homemade turbo kit, which I plan on giving away here in the near future. Make sure you subscribe for that. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff. Recently took this truck on power tour, and when we brought it back, did a little health check on it. Dropped the oil looked good. Cut open the filter looked great. Pulled the plugs also looked awesome. Even ran a borescope down into the cylinders to check those out. Everything is looking good. After which we took this truck out, celebrated a little bit by burning off a tire. Yep, one tire. Didn't say two. Not tires, because this thing is still a single tire fire or a one wheel peel, however you want to say it. And the original concept of this truck, or why I'm building it, is take it down the drag strip, have fun with it, do events, stuff like that, whip it around. A little more difficult. It can be done, but it's a little more difficult to do when you only got one wheel putting power to the ground. So we are going to fix that by installing a mini spool. But first things first, I need to get this truck up in the air. That way we can pull the diff cover off and get set up so we can pull, and so we can set up, so we can get an axle out of there. So I'm gonna get you guys in the stand, get a floor jack underneath the truck, get it up in the air, set it on some jack stands, pull that cover off, let all the fluid drain, and we'll be right back to, well, tear that little carrier apart. So here we go. All right, truck is in the air, sitting on jack stands. Also got a drain can underneath our rear diff cover. You saw there too, we got the wheel off. Once the wheel's off, able just to slide the drum right off. Now, sometimes that isn't gonna just happen like that. We got lucky. Looks like I did the brakes a while ago. I like to think I did the brakes. The brakes been done, is what I'm saying. So, brakes look like they're in fairly decent shape. Drum slid right off. So what we're going to do now is get this cover off. Just an old stock 10 bolt, so we got 10 bolts holding the cover on there. And easiest way to do it is just to start at the bottom, work your way to the top. Leave this top one here in place. We're just going to loosen it enough to where we can get a screwdriver in between the cover and the housing. Pry it open, let everything drain into our bucket here. Once that's done draining, we'll pull it off. So this one, I know I've been into it at least once before, so I think it's just got silicone on it. So hopefully we don't mess anything up. And if you're wondering what size this is, these are 13mm bolts, and there are 10 of them. So we're just going to start at the bottom. Get all these guys out of here. Once you get to kind of see how this rear end did throughout the trip. I remember taking it apart once. That was a long time ago, before I actually got it here. I wanted to see what gears are in it. It's got 355s. Normally you can look at a tag, but this one is missing a tag. So, all right. Got 9 of our bolts out, looks like, so we're just going to loosen this top one. Leave it on there. Center our pan up underneath our cover. Let's see if I can get you down here so you can see exactly what we got going on. Yeah. All right. Okay. I just got a little flathead screwdriver, and I'm gonna go. I really don't want to go down here per se, because if there's a chance I mess this up, then it's a little bit more difficult to seal. So I'm just gonna go up on the side right here. A couple light taps. Yeah. Come back to the other side. It's broke free, so it should start coming apart a lot easier now. There it goes. Yep. All right. Come back over here to the other side. And just kind of work your way back and forth. Kind of help keep from damaging that cover. Now this fluid is gross. Gee, nasty. Feels like it's coming apart pretty good. There we go. Now the seal's broke all the way around. Looks like I might have just had a gasket. All right, cool. So that's undone. Go ahead and get the top bolt out. Off. All right, so rear cover is off. Go ahead and use this other wheel here. Oh yeah, one wheel peel. Not gonna be doing nothing. Everything feels good. Forgot, gotta put the truck in neutral. So let me go do that. All right, truck is in neutral, so we'll get you up here so we can rotate this little guy over. There we go. What you want to do is just rotate it to where we can come up against our little 8mm or 5/16 bolt. That is this guy right here. That is what's holding this center pin in place. So once we get there, go ahead and grab a little wrench. Like I said, it's 8mm or 5/16. Get this guy out. Once that's out, you can sometimes reach around to the back side there and just kind of push this pin. That way that pin comes out. Pin looks like it's in really good shape. Now we can rotate our carrier back. Let me go ahead and put these in here. Now that we got the pin out, we'll just rotate it again to where, make sure you pay attention to your spider gears, which I wasn't, because they will, there's no pin holding them in place, so they will kind of want to follow you around. So we got it rotated there. Now I'll see if I can get you in just a little bit more so you can kind of see our axle in there. Oops. Yeah. Just kind of get you in there, kind of show you exactly what's going on. Now, inside here is our axle, and behind here is the C-clip. Some of you may know this already, but this is for the ones that don't. Now that we got the wheel off and our drum off and we got this center pin out, you can reach out to where your drum would go, and you should be able to push the axle in just like you saw there. And once that's in far enough, this clip should come right out. So there's our clip right there on the axle. So at this point, you should be able to pull the axle straight out. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get you out from under the truck. We'll get the axle out and see how many splines we got. All right, on the outside of the truck, we're on the pilot side. Got this guy underneath the axle. Now, sometimes when you go to pull your axle out, you're gonna get a bunch of fluid there. You may have your pan already occupied underneath the pumpkin of this thing, so if you don't got 2 drain pans, which I do not, I have 1, and I got these guys here. These are become big old pack. Get them at Costco, Sam's Club, most grocery stores. They're awesome. Once they're all dinged up, because we know our pans get nasty, you can spray it out, toss the thing. This is like, buy them in bulk, so I think they work out to be like $1.50 a piece, maybe $2, something like that. Well worth it. So, but we'll get that set up underneath the axle. Chances are it may not want to drag some fluid with it, but fluid does have a tendency, it's supposed to work up the tube. It's got to get to the bearing. You may have some on it. Got a rag, you can wipe all that stuff off and clean it up. And then you got a place to set your axle as well, so it's not dirtying up your floor. But get you down here. You saw that we pushed the axle in, yanked that clip out. Now we could just pull on our axle. Ooh, sounds a little bad in there. So, but anyways, let's get this axle out. Yep, see there's the fluid there. So now I can just wipe it off. Put this guy up in here. Actually, bearing feels good. Seal looks good. I think I was just hearing the little debris hitting our pan here. Makes it sound worse than it really is. See here. You can see spot here where the bearing's been riding. We'll wipe that off. See, there's no, just some normal wear marks. Thing looks good. There's no pitting or anything like that. So we're gonna call that a win. Now, get you over here. Get everything wiped off. Should just count each one of these splines. Let me grab something real quick, just so I don't lose track. All right, so we got, let's see, let's get a count here. We got, let's get you over here. Let's do this together. All right. Start at the top here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Always count twice, because you can always screw up at least once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. All right. 30 splines is what we got on this axle. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to just get this thing wiped up, get it cleaned up. I'm gonna leave the truck sitting in the air because believe it or not, this is part 1 to this video. I'm getting it ready to have the mini spool here when I get back from work. So it's gonna be a little bit of time for me, but for you guys, just be a quick second. So I'm gonna go ahead and get myself cleaned up right now, get that mini spool ordered so I can have it back here in time to finish this video. Get this thing, get it in the truck, and of course go celebrate by getting power to both tires. But anyways, I'll get myself cleaned up, get that spool ordered. See you in a sec. And I'm back. Believe it or not, about 3 weeks have gone by since the first half of this video till right now. But plan worked out, right? So for what was a second for you guys, it was 3 weeks for me, but now in this box, we have got our mini spool. So, when we left off here, I counted them, right? 30 spline, ordered the parts, got them in the mail. Seth, how you doing, bud?
Good.
He's coming up here. He's actually going to help us celebrate with this thing later. Oh, Delilah's here too. Say hi.
Hi.
All right. So, here is our mini spool. I'll make sure to put a link to this in the description. We're going to put it in there. I'll get you guys underneath the truck real quick. But I want to test this, make sure it fits over our axle. Make sure there's plenty of room to get the C-clip in. Because if you've been with me long enough, then you know the mini spool I ordered and installed in my Mustang kind of had to modify a little because it wouldn't go down. Not giving me a whole lot of room to put the C-clip on, and we ended up just kind of cleaning up the inside here on that one for the 8.8, get it to go down far enough to get the clip in. So here's this guy, get you over our axle right here, goes down. Oh yeah, it's gonna work. All right, let's get this axle back in our tube. Get you under the truck. We'll install our mini spool. Plus, I want to kind of go over a couple little things as well. I like to leave some of the shims, like the spider gears. They have little shims they ride on. If I got them, if I can put them in there, I like to do that. Kind of helps keep everything tight. The tighter, the better. If it's too loose and things just kind of rock, it'll have a tendency to chip. As a matter of fact, we broke the one in my 8.8 over there in that Mustang, and that is Lincoln locked now. It's welded together. So, seems to be holding, or it did last time. Haven't looked at it since. But anyways, get you guys under the, or get this tube back in the axle, or the axle back in the tube. Get you under the truck, and we'll install our mini spool. All right, we are under the truck, and because there is a lack of space under here, we're just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna talk behind the camera, basically. Kind of narrate a little. But we're going to get you up close to our spider gears and all that. So you remember in the beginning of the video, we pulled the 5/16 bolt out. Where is it? Somewhere. There it is. Pulled that guy out, which allowed us to take this guy out here. So we can rotate now and get all of our spider gears. Now what we want to do is we want to get all those out, and you can just turn the outside wheel if you still got a wheel attached. Go ahead and turn it. Because there's no pin, all the spider gears are going to rotate. They're going to come to where we can just go ahead and pull this out. So you see there, pull that guy out. Back one is there, we'll go ahead and grab it. As you can see on this one here, the one that rides in the center that the carrier pin goes through, has these little shims. Now I'm going to try to reuse these because it helps keep all of the blocks tight, and I'm going to show you here in a minute. But go ahead and get that guy out of there. Go ahead, reach behind and grab. our other spider gear. Make sure to pull this little shim out of here. Oil. Making it difficult. There it goes. So there's our two shims. Spider gears out, top and bottom. So we'll save those. Now we'll go ahead and pull this guy out. We're gonna go ahead and slide that axle back out of there because I'm silly. This guy should just pop on out now. Something behind it. The oil likes to make it a little difficult. There it goes. It should just come right on out. Now there, sometimes this one does not have it unless it's in here still. Yep. There's shims that ride behind these guys as well. Show you. See? So we're going to go ahead and leave that in its place. And just put that guy off to the side. Go ahead and get the screwdriver behind this one. There it goes. Boom. Everything is out. Carrier is all nice and clean. It is empty. Now we're going to go ahead and grab this guy right here. Go ahead and slide him into place. Oh. Okay. Now rotate that guy. Truthfully, because the ring gear is there, should probably start on this side. Make it a little easier on ourselves. There we go. Ooh. Go ahead and put this in. Okay. So that guy's in place now. Go ahead and grab the other one. May or may not. Now the shims, if you can keep them, great. If not, well, everything's locked. The shims are kind of almost like a bearing. It gives it something to ride on, oil in between this and our carrier. So it's not super important, but if we have to take one out just to give us enough room to get it in there, we will. It's no big deal. You see it's super tight. So let's go ahead and pull this guy out. Okay. Put him off to the side. Put this guy back in. Axle back in to hold it. And now we're going to see, just that shim was just thick enough to keep it from going in. So we'll go ahead and leave that one there. Now that this side does not have a shim, because we took it out, this side does. Next thing we want to try to check and see, do our blocks fit? Because if they fit, awesome. We'll leave that one shim in there. These two are going to be nice and tight. So, oh yeah. Those fit, and there is no wiggle room. So that is good. These are nice and tight in between these two. You can see this is what's going to lock those together. So now that we know we can keep that shim in there, It's going to allow to keep these blocks nice and tight, try to limit our wiggle room. The next thing I want to see is, will our top shims fit? Now, ones I've put in the past, usually have to take a die grinder or the little carbide bit and just kind of taper this a little bit. So the end of our shim there, as you can see, it's got that little, I don't know if you can pick it up. There you go. That way this lip sits inside here. And what I like to do is I like to put them in there because it keeps this thing from bouncing up and down inside of our rear end there. Like I said, I like to try to limit the amount of space or movement. And it looks like we are going to have to take a die grinder to this edge here. So I'm going to take it out, use the carbide bit, clean it up a little bit, and then I'll show you what it looks like after I'm done. So, be right back. Alright, got our blocks all cleaned up. As you can see, we are back here under the truck. Gone ahead and installed the passenger side axle and sleeve clip. We'll go ahead and install our driver's side one right now. Push that axle all the way in. Here is our clip. Now you guys want to make sure you install these before putting your blocks in place, because, well, you'll have to take your blocks back out to put those clips in there. So, all right, now that we got that set up, go ahead and just rotate these guys just slightly. Go ahead and install the block on the back side here. Go ahead and line that up. Drop it all the way into place. Grab our block, our front block here. Grab our shims. There we go. Make sure that slides all the way in. Grab our shims. And then go ahead and rotate to see how everything fits. And it actually is running. It is running into our shims, so she is already a snug fit. Kind of amazing, actually, because every other one I've installed, I usually get, maybe because it's a cheaper one, I don't know, or I bought the cheaper ones before. They've never hit the run into the shims. So this one is actually tagging both shims, so we don't need them, which is actually cool. Go ahead and rotate. Oh yeah, it's starting to go. It's definitely a snug fit. That is for sure. Oh yeah. Already actually feels really nice and tight. Oh. See if I can. Where is my punch? There we go. Got a punch right here. Go ahead and see if it will. I don't want to force it too much, but let's see if it'll rotate in. And it feels like it is rotating. So definitely a snug fit. That is awesome. There it goes. We're pretty close. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Let's see if I can. There we go. Kind of help it get into place. And actually, I think what I'll do now is put the truck in gear to hold that pinion for me. All right, truck's in gear. Go ahead and, or in park I should say. Now let's see if I can rotate this block all the way around where it goes. Oh yeah, she's gone. And that is a really, really snug fit. That's actually really good. I've never had one fit that tight before. So definitely not going to be a whole lot of movement. All right, mini spool is installed. I guess actually did not end up having to use these shims, and I would have figured that out if I'd have tried test fitting this thing first before I clearanced it to fit the shims. Problem is, I usually buy the cheaper stuff, and I've always had to use the shims. This one here costs a little bit more, and obviously that little bit more pays for itself because it is a nice snug fit in there. There is no movement whatsoever. Especially, we did end up using this shim over here, so that makes everything a nice snug fit, which is awesome. I like that. The metal back here isn't going to go banging around. So, but now that our blocks are in, we are going to rotate over to install our carrier pin. That way it helps lock everything into place. And you can see it's going to turn everything. That's how snug of a fit this mini spool is. It's turning the drive shaft, both axles, all that, and there is no pin installed. So go ahead and install our pin, which is also a really snug fit. Go ahead and tap it into place. Now, some of you guys might remember I actually had to clearance the pin on the 8.8, kind of flatten one of the sides so it fit in between the axles. This one looks like it's doing pretty good. Definitely want to make sure our hole is lined up, or that way when we slide this guy in, we're not trying to hunt for it. So I like to keep our bolt there just to kind of help me orientate where our hole is located. You see there, it kind of comes up against it. And then you can use this guy too, just to kind of help tap it straight. Looks like we're doing pretty good. Once you get it close, go ahead and pull the bolt out, put it in, and just feels close. Let's see. Maybe it needs to go on just a little bit farther. Yep, there we go. Bolts lined up. Make sure it threads in first. Which it feels like it does. Maybe just tap it just a little bit more. There we go. That feels better, actually. Oh yeah. Now that we know our pin is lined up, so we can get our 5/16 keeper bolt in, go ahead and take her back out. Clean the threads off. Add some Loctite. I'm just going to go ahead and put some blue Loctite because that's what I have. Put her back in place. Oops. Go ahead and tighten our bolt. Make sure it gets nice and snug. Will you do me a favor, Seth?
Sure.
Will you go ahead and put the truck back in park for me?
Sure thing.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, almost done installing our bolt. Yeah, right, got the camera all kicked around. Just about ready. This mini spool fits really, really nice. Definitely makes me rethink buying the cheaper ones, even if they're only a couple bucks. I believe this one was about between $60 and $70 for this mini spool. And I know some guys like to weld these things up, and that's fine too. But I've always been my Mustang's welded, so. All right, bolt is tight. Go ahead and put it back in neutral for me. Neutral. Thank you. Go ahead and rotate this over. Oh yeah. So all the play we're hearing now that our pin is tight and installed, there is no movement. All we are hearing now is backlash. Axles are nice and snug. Everything's turning like it should. Feels really, really good. So now this truck is going to be a lot of fun. Go ahead and put it back in park. So now all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to get a scraper, clean off all of this old gasket, get it all nice and pretty, smear a bunch of silicone on it because I don't have a gasket, tighten this thing up, put some fluid in it. So when I come back, all this will be buttoned up, will actually be in the truck. And we're going to take this on a test drive. So let me get this cleaned up, get some fluid in here. I'll be right back. All right, truck's on the ground. Just left the house. We are on our way to the gas station right now. Gonna get some fuel put in this thing, kind of cruise it there, you know, kind of help just feel it out. Make sure everything's working the way it should. But I promise you guys, I'm not gonna do anything silly or get on this or party without it being on camera. So once I get this thing fueled up, we're gonna head out to our test spot. Have some fun and break this mini spool in right. So I will see you guys there. All right, we are here. Truck made it. It drives. I forgot how nice this thing drives. No weird noises in the back. Rear end's all good. I don't know why it would make any noises. We just put a mini spool in it. But we are here, and we are going to test out that mini spool. We're going to break it in right. I got Seth and Delilah here with me. I'm gonna go ahead and pass the camera off to Seth, and well, he's gonna do some filming. So, you ready, Seth?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's break that thing in. Successfully been broken in. I've also learned need to do some tuning on this thing because it likes to get real rich at the end there, which is good. I'm glad it does rich and not lean. So, but we'll go ahead and just kind of cruise this thing nice and easy back to the shop, get the temperature to come down because she got up there. So cruise it nice and easy, and I'll see you guys back here at the shop. We are back at the shop. Truck did absolutely awesome. Mini spool is now broken in. Feels actually really good back there. Definitely a lot more fun. Get both tires trying to put power to the ground.
I am gonna have to figure out how to. I am gonna have to do some tuning up there because she was loading up pretty good. I think I seen my air fuel get to like 10, and it's a little rich. So, or I can fix it with boost. I'll just throw more boost at it. There you go. That seems a lot. I'll just do that. That's easier. Nope. Still playing with Phytech. Still figuring it out. It's working great. I hadn't been playing around a whole lot in that area, so I haven't really touched any of that. Just been cruising it and stuff. So, but mini spool's done. We got power going to both wheels now. It's no longer a single tire fire, a one wheel peel, a dog legger, whatever. If there's any more, put them in the comments. Let me know because they're funny, and I would like to know them. So, but I will put a link to that mini spool in the description. I am very, very happy with that little mini spool. I wish I had checked prior to doing what I did. I've always bought in like the mini spools that are on the cheaper side of things, so they're a little sloppy, which is why I've always done. I've always had to like clearance those little blocks to leave the shims in there and leave the shims behind each side of the axle cups, because they're always a little sloppy. If you guys remember when I did it on that car there before I broke it and just ended up welding the whole thing, that's what I did with that. And that was like a $36 or something like that mini spool. The one for this truck was twice as much, and it fit really, really tight. I'm very, very happy with it. So, if you guys buy this for your 10 bolt, this particular one out of the description there, just be prepared. It's tight. It's tight fitting, which is nice. I like it. So, but if you buy the cheaper ones, you can clearance and use the shims to help take up some of that clearance. So you don't want those things banging around in there. But so, anyways, truck's back. Did great. Still had good oil pressure. Coolant temp wasn't all that bad once we got back here. It was 206. Got into the mid 230s as I was goofing off. Didn't have the transmission plugged in, so I don't know exactly how hot it got, but I'm sure it got pretty hot. And it's a 4L60E, so we made it back. But anyways, you guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all your guys' support. It makes all this stuff awesome. So, hope I motivate you guys. Get out there and work on your stuff. Doesn't have to be big things. It could be little things, little thing at a time, 15, 20 minutes a day, mini spools like that. Just have some fun with it. So, but anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. If you're new, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Don't forget to turn on notifications. Got some more videos coming up. So, yeah, I'm working a lot now. I've got to cover and make up for when I went on vacation for Power Tour, so I'm still making that stuff up. And that's why my videos have been a little spread out, but got some more videos. Frankenstein, Mustang, 58. The guy sitting out in the North 40. All right, enough talking. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Appreciate everything. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.